Hey, Rascalio here again with a quick order deck tech. I've been really enjoying this order aggro deck. Uh, I wish I had a cooler name for it, but order aggro is going to have to do. You pretty much just play cards that do a bunch of damage, blessings that only do damage, and heroes with good corners. Uh, Thankfully, Protector Prime also has good ability to go with his corner. You know, he gets back that -1 life that he costs you, and some. So we have actually two Protector Primes in our deck, and we're just going to play one Stormcast. Hopefully we get to play two abilities, and then it does damage, and that one Stormcast, you want to play a second unit of this lane, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, we have two of these. Really wish I had a better way to show off the deck, especially when I get to the actions, and it's in alphabetical, and not separated by, non-unit and unit, but we'll work on that. And then we have Volturnos. We don't actually use his ability. I do technically have 6 elves in the deck, but this card is not here for this. He's here for this. Like, look at that. That's so nice. You play an elf, deal damage, deal damage. And then he also gives you 2 health. That's pretty nice. And because his last corner's ability, you have control over when it happens, which is relevant because you play cards like Swift Judgment, so you want control over when you flip your blessings. A card like, sorry, I'm going back and forth a lot, but a card like Protector Prime, where if you play an ability and then you're just going to let your guy rotate on the start of your turn, your opponent's gonna have time to play something in front of Swift Judgment. If, like, say, if your blessing was Swift Judgment, like they'd have a chance to play around it. Um, yeah, maybe hopefully I could show you like what I mean in a game after this. But yeah, and then those two champions are 19 points, so we have to play this. This card's actually not bad. You get a health out of it. You play burn spells, like abilities that deal damage in your deck, so you can play that, then play a unit, and then just one more ability, and then a Stormcast, and you have this blessing. This is the ones you go for later in the game, but it's actually not that bad. So, as I said, all the blessings deal damage, deal damage, deal damage. This card's actually really good. I think it's my favorite onslaught card. Deal damage. Yep. So that's the blessings. I don't play blessed weapons. Wow, I can't talk. Blessed weapons. Which let me pull it up. Try to pretend like this is a professional video. So you can count up all these corners, 2, 4, 7. Wow, 10 damage. That's more than 7. Why am I not playing this card? You don't get the damage right away. There's some matchups that require burst, and just in general, there's not like a lot of the times you'll flip a blessing near the end of the game, and you won't have time to do all this. This is hard, especially when you're playing champions. That's like, hey, it's cool. You can only play one unit here, so you're playing 15 abilities and 15 units in this deck, so you're not incentivized to like jam out 4 units at a time, or I guess 3, and like proc this a bunch right away. So I don't know, it's just too slow. If I like turbo out a blessing and I get it first, sure, it's great. And then this card, I think this card's good too. I'm gonna say 4 damage isn't enough, and then I'm gonna flip Swift Judgment for 4, or Hyper Seeds there for like 3 or 4, and you're gonna get confused. But those cards have higher upside damage. This card's always gonna deal 4. There's gonna be games where my opponent's at 9, and I can like clear their lane and be like, oh please Swift Judgment, So I play those other higher damage blessings because they could get you out of some tight spots. This card will never do more than 4. It also doesn't even do the 4 right away. But I'm not saying this blessing's bad. It's just not what I want in this hyper aggressive deck. Okay, now let's take a look at the 30 cards we actually put into our deck. We have 15 units and 15 abilities. Let's start with the guys. So we have 9 Stormcast and 6 Elves. That just makes sense, right? Because we have 2 Protector Primes and also a Liberator Prime that needs Stormcast. And Volturnos only needs 1 Elf. So we have 3 of these, the full set. And we're just looking for like efficiency, right? Like this card does 6 damage for a single card. Who cares that it's 4 corners? In fact, 4 corners help us, because Protector Prime wants you to play 2 abilities while this guy's still churning out his damage. So if we played a card instead like a Hurricane Raptor, which is considered a good card, right? That card only does 3 damage for the card. It does it faster, sure, but in terms of efficiency for the card, it only does 3 damage. And you'd also have to go, like, in terms of actual gameplay, you'd have to go Hurricane Raptor on my Protector Prime, play a beat back, play another ability, go, to be able to get the blessing off of Hurricane Raptor dealing damage. You don't have to worry about that with this card. This card's going to stay in play a while. He's got your back. You don't play this card for the Architect. I've used it literally once. And it was to move my guy off of Liberator Prime on a last turn situation where I needed his blessing. So yeah, once you see that I'm playing also 3 of this guy in the deck, the last card we saw, that last card looks amazing because frankly, this card's pretty bland, pretty boring. But again, it's just 6 damage for a single card. This card, it's only 4 damage. You get 1 of the damage right away. Again, the whole thing with the damage blessing. But this card has a lot of built-in utility, right? It's almost immune to removal because most removal is abilities that go straight across. There's some edge cases. He could get soul feasted. You're not gonna play this across from a vampire half the time though. He can die to the chaos blessing that kills in a cone. Stuff like that. He could get beat backed away from a different lane. But, in general, you play this guy in front of either Scarbrand, who's about to go off, and then you can finish them, or you play in front of a guy who needs ability to blessing, and you slow them down by like 3 turns. And it's really good, because slowing down your opponent from their blessing for 3 turns can make or break a game. Especially when you have multiple of these in your hand. So you just hold on to them, because they never have a chance to play an ability. When this rotates off, it's going to be your turn, you just play the other one. It's all up to you, because they can't do anything on your turn. So they need a very specific answer. So we go to the elves now. So we have this guy. He's just damage. You want to try to play Volturnos in front of a guy that costs 2 or less. If you don't worry about it. This guy dealing 3, it's obviously a lot worse than it dealing 6. But you don't have to play this on Volturnos. That's why we have another elf in the deck too. But, the ideal situation is you have Volturnos in front of the guy that costs 2 or less. You get to play this. It 6s them. You get all your Volturnos quests. And it feels really good. We also have this card. Again, works with Volturnos because it's an elf that deals damage. And it's just a lot of utility. Really slows your opponent down. A lot of champions require multiple units to be able to blessing, so this will slow them down by like 3 turns. Like, say they have, just the generic orc guy that needs a unit, ability unit, and they play their first unit, you just sleep it for 3 turns. It feels really bad for them. And then they have to waste if they want to not be slowed down by 3 turns, they have to waste a deadly chop here. But then they're not getting the full quest value of their deadly chop. Like they could have, chopped something else later that would also give them their quest. It's also good against Riptooth for that reason in a turn 1 situation. Say, because Riptooth has first corner play a guy, second corner damage. And then if they just play the guy and you sleep it, their guy won't be able to deal damage, right? Because it's dormant. And then they'll either have to wait the 3 turns or they'll have to chop it. But they will really want to chop with Riptooth when he's on ability after their unit they played dealt damage, because then they'd just get the blessing right away. Instead, they'd only be half done. So this card can sometimes make your opponent play their removal at a bad time. And that's why this card's so good. And then if they don't play their removal at a bad time, you get your Volturnos trigger, or you just slow them down a lot. And by Volturnos trigger, sorry, I meant Volturnos quest. I'm poor with words. But anyways, those are the units. Let's go to the abilities. We have some what I call burn spells because I play magic, but abilities that just deal damage. Because that's the point of this game, right? All the point is to just get your opponent to 0. So these cards help, and you have a lot of ability corners. So, if you can actively be killing your opponent while you're getting those quests, very good. We have a few more. I have 2 opportunity strikes and 1 last ditch strike. They mostly deal 2. I think opportunity strike's a bit better because you can cheese them turn 1 on the play. I have gotten the 5 damage off last ditch strike, but I do the 2-1 split mostly so I don't have multiples jammed in my hand, because you can't play multiples of the same card in a turn. So, you know, in like the niche situations, I need to deal 4 to them. I don't want to be stuck with 2 opportunity strikes, which I mean could still happen, but I made it happen less often now. We also have 3 beatback and 3 tactical formation. These cards pretty much they let you go through your ability quests, and give you half the card back, and they also do something positive. So every card you play costs an ability, or sorry, costs an action and a card. But you know, this gives you the action back, formation gives you the card back, and you also gain something positive out of it. Like this card can really wreck your opponent. Formation can really help. You know, I've had situations my opponent played a unit that's going to deal 1 to me next turn. I got the tactical formation, my protector prime in front of it, and just completely messed up their quest. It's really good. And this card, it also lets you draw your card before you end your turn, which could be really good sometimes. Say, I don't know, it's the only card in your hand, and you play it, get your ability corner, draw something that does another corner. You know, it's better than just passing to draw a card. Because then, if you play this first, you could also play the card you drew that turn, instead of having to wait till next turn to play it. And our last ability is Triumphant Smash. And I think a lot of people play removal wrong in this game. A lot of the times, someone will have a guy that needs like 3 units to progress, and they'll play like a slow, clunky unit, and their opponent will just kill it right away. And a lot of times they'll just speed up their quest, right? Like they would have to wait for that unit to rotate off, but you killed it for them, right? So then they could just play another unit there and get their quest faster. So, and then I don't know. This card can actually do like a lot more. So obviously it's there for ability corners. Um, it can deal damage. You rotate back one of your guys, like your Paladin Decimator. Say he's on his left corner. You take him back. You're actually dealing 5 extra damage because you're gonna do the 2 again, and then he's gonna do the 3 again. It also combos with Protector Prime. Say you have a unit. So you play your Stormcast. You play any ability, and then at any time, if you remove something tactical formation, it's gonna remove. You're gonna get the ability quest. You're gonna remove it, and you're gonna tick back and deal the damage. Get your blessing. And if it's Swift Judgment, you'll actually get the Swift Judgment 9 damage, which is really good because Volturnos doesn't have that type of combo. If you play a tactical formation or beat back on Volturnos' lane to try to move him away from the guy or try to move the guy away from him, you're gonna flip the blessing first, and if you hit Swift Judgment, you're gonna feel 4, and you're gonna feel really bad. I said feel 4, but you know I meant deal 4. Okay, just getting into a ranked game with that order deck I showed you. Hopefully I can win. I am in Master League. I've made Master Season 3 with this deck. I didn't play it at all Season 2 or Season 1. But I've been enjoying it. Opponent gave us hello. I'll give him a good luck and a hello. Ooh, we got reversed orders from each other. Okay, so I'm gonna play Volturnos here, you know, just talk about those good concepts. Or put into practice those good concepts that I talked about. And as far as matchups, I think death can be kind of tough. Bored to death, or like the immortal death, like just healing deck until you deck out. This deck, I don't know if this deck can really beat that deck. Chaos, I haven't had too many non-Scarbrand Chaos games to say who's favored. Kind of just throwing a bunch of damage at each other's face. Pretty even matchup. And then against Destruction, I tend to lose to Gordrak quite a bit if they like just have the nuts. You know, just like their action guys early. I don't have interaction for it. They draw a bunch of cards. They play a bunch of burst, get their blessing, kill me. Alright, hopefully I can get this protector guy across from Scarbrand. If not, I'll live. Oh, sweet. Okay, thankfully I don't play spells. That is good for me. I do want to try to either have the burst for 10. Like, I don't want to knock him to 10 and not be able to kill him right away. Or I want to have the guy that stops abilities. I am terrible at names in this game. Yeah, so tactical formation, instead of passing a draw card, I get to move this guy over, get the ability corner, and draw a card. So, it's a good one. And I'm gonna, this card's gonna prevent 2 damage theoretically if this guy just like rotates all the way through. Maybe more, maybe he'll last stand it too. Hmm. Oof. Okay, yeah, see? So he lost 2 damage for killing that early. Because, I would have prevented one. So, I'm tempted to just play this here. I don't, need to play my ability this turn. I could play it next turn. I like drawing cards. I don't know if I want to get this blessing started. I also have Piercing Shot, play this here. I'm just gonna draw 2, I think. Yeah. Ow. I like drawing cards. Like just passing and drawing a lot with this deck. Gives you more options to do what you want later. This deck hurts. I do have to put on some kind of a clock now. So I definitely want to play this. And then I kind of want to hold this for like near the end game, but it's the easiest ability to play right now. Or I could just play beatback for no value just so I get to draw my card still. Or to play this. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I'm actually going to play a no value beatback. Now, do I want to draw my card or do I want to play this here? I think I need to start churning out damage. I have the 2 abilities for this, so I don't need to really draw. I do need to draw at some point to get this last ability. But hopefully I just get lucky and draw it off this. Hopefully play something here, and I can just tact formation in front. So let's see, I have 6, 9, 12 damage in play plus a blessing, so he's going to 20 minus a blessing. I'm just gonna say my blessing deals like 6. This hurts. I'm dying. He's going to 18 minus blessing. Like, I'm just counting my damage if all these cards rotate. Told you my blessing would do 6, by the way. Haha. So I want to do this tact formation because I want to draw a card. The swap's kind of meh. I do need to draw. Oh no, I don't need to draw one more ability. What do I need? Let's see. 17, 15, 12. No, that's too dangerous. I do want to kind of play this here though. Oh, sorry, I tanked. Maybe I could have gone for it. And by gone for it, I mean like I was scared of getting him under 10 and not killing him and then dying. But I was tempted to go like, get this blessing, get this blessing. Yeah, I think I should have. I don't know. Alright, next I take it 4 down to 15. And then I could do this down to 12. Then I'm like dead to Demonic Fury. Thankfully he played in the lane where damage is reduced. I won't get my tick back trick with this though. Okay, that sucks for me. I want to get both these on the same turn. Okay. I could remove that, but then he gets his blessing, and that's, you know, kind of terrifying. This game's hard. Okay, yeah. So I could go piercing shot. 13. Okay. And then he's going to go to 11. He's going to go back to 13. And then I have 2 blessings next turn. And I play around Demonic Fury. I guess he could do this Demonic Fury, but then I'm not dead. Yeah, so he's back to 13. So I don't get... Yeah, okay. So he's just dead. Because I have Smash Empty Lane. Yeah. Because 2 blessings for sure will do 11 or more. So... Pew! Sorry if I got quiet at times. This game was actually kind of hard. And we didn't even need the second blessing. Maybe he thinks we just got really lucky. Good game. And there, prove its master.